This orc is completely broken, and I plan to utilize him in the online pit fights. For those of you that don't know, in a previous video, I put my best orc Bagabug the Stormbringer into the online pits, and he absolutely smashed all the competition. Until he came up against the enchanted orc, and he got beaten by a bunch of BS. So I thought I would see, is that a fluke? Or is the enchanted really just the most broken orc in all of Shadow of War? Okay, I've made the enchanted the overlord of my Liflad fortress. Now let's go and see. Oh, I'm being shot. Who the hell is this? Barrel scraper.
Ranger! I'm going to put one right through your skull. You
sorry guys, 1 second. Let me take care of this quickly. Okay, let's get into the pits. Texas Viking. Ooh, this guy looks pretty cool. Look at him.
If you're eager to die.
But the real test here is the enchanted still gonna have his broken attack?
Holy jeez. What is that?
Yes, he still has it.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Yep, it's confirmed. This orc is completely broken. The Black Blade does not stand a chance against this onslaught of animations. It's basically death by animation stunlock.
Oh my god! Wow!
But let's see how far he can go.
Enjoy this quietly.
You saving the best for last out there?
Two very confusing lines there that don't really make sense. Okay, he has been jumped on the Caragor by immediately. He starts throwing out bear traps, and then he starts doing these weak hatchet throws. But I have to admire him. He keeps up the onslaught of attacks, throwing bear traps, and then more weak hatchets, seemingly doing no damage to anything. God, you have to really admire his spirit, as he just stands there like an idiot throwing more bear traps.
Stop it. Get some help.
And eventually he does help himself with one of the hatchets finally taking down the Caragor. Finally, the fight is on, and the enchanted does what the enchanted does best.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Up to 2 wins. Who's next?
Looking forward to this like I am.
The enchanted starts off a little bit pensive, then he gets hit by an explosive bomb thrown by an Olog, which sets everything on fire, but mostly the enemy captain.
Ah! Jesus Christ!
After the Kingslayer stopped being on fire like a coward, the enchanted put him out of his misery. Things were looking pretty good for the enchanted, until...
Think you're tough, eh? We'll see about that.
my arch nemesis, Hoglick the Jaded, entered the arena. I am very aware of how strong he is, so I was honestly a little bit worried here for the enchanted. This will serve as a great test to see if he is actually as broken as I think. And speaking of broken, Hoglick is already broken, and he's already dead. My god, the enchanted took out a very strong orc with ease. Who could possibly stop him now?
Now you face a true follower of the Dark Flame. Come on now, I can do this all day. It's your ending, Vader.
Oh no, we finally met another animation spammer, the old pick up and punch technique that the Ologs use. I then realized that the enchanted just sort of wears down the Olog by hitting him with little tiny attacks. Like his little club basically does like no damage. When he's fighting an Olog, it's death by 1,000 bonks.
Hackerman.
Until eventually the bonks are enough to put the Olog to sleep. The exact same thing happened to this next Olog challenger. Death by 1,000 bonks. Who's next? Okay, he looks like a badass.
You ready for a lesson in warfare?
Another animation spamming style of orc. This time it's the around the world spear attack. He hits him with this a few times before the enchanted decides enough is enough. On to the next online pit fight, and we're going up against a very cool looking Olog.
I paint walls walls with your blood!
God, the dead son is so cool. And he lives up to his name by immediately exploding all of the shield bearers. But this only causes the enchanted to lock in, and once he's locked in, there's nothing anyone can do. At this point, I'm really wondering, can anyone beat this guy? Or is he just gonna cheese his way to victory every time?
You're a little on the dull side.
Emotional, damn it!
Dull side? I'll show you dull side. The enchanted gives him a little toss, hits him with one of his signature bonks, and then as one of the shield bearers runs in for the kill, the murderess just kind of gives up. And he gets probably the worst kill cam freeze frame I've ever seen. Oh my god, that is like minus 10,000 aura. With that win, we're now on a streak of 9. But whenever I go to click on the next fight, my game kind of just keeps loading forever. I open up the Xbox menu because I sort of hope that might make a difference. But no, nothing happens. 2 more minutes goes by and then I end up closing the game. Because of that crash, technically we lost our win streak. I suppose if this is the most broken orc in Middle-earth, then crashes are to be expected.
I'm here to rip your spine out!
Are you sure about that?
Then something happened that I've never seen happen to the enchanted before. He became enraged. The game crashing had only made him more powerful. Now, technically up to double figures, the enchanted felt invincible.
The crowd screams for you. I will make you scream for them.
He would get some sort of threat or insult from his opponent, and then he would just spam the ever-loving flip out of him until he would eventually explode their head. This is how every fight would go until he'd meet the Harrow.
My bite's worse than my bark. I'll bite your head off.
The fight started off pretty normally as it does whenever there's a Caragor involved. The enchanted became enraged. He would get bit a little bit and return fire with his little tiny hatchets, which would eventually lead to the Harrow falling off and being on foot. At this point, everything seemed normal. He spammed his usual non-stop cheesy attacks. But it was only once the Harrow became broken that he really turned up the heat. After becoming enraged, he hit the enchanted with 2 poison spears, getting his health down to half. He then used his triggered rage to finish off the enchanted with his poison spears. I now believe that ranged soldiers such as archers and spear throwers are the enchanted's weakness. But I'll be honest, I don't believe enough testing has been done. Is this orc truly broken? We have to go again, and thankfully I've got another enchanted ready to go.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
I knock you down and grind you into dust.
But would this enchanted be as good as the previous one? Yes. Yes, he would. Hitting the chunky with a flurry of big bonks. Until he finally succumbed, and the final big bonk came. On to the next fight, and it's an old familiar friend, another orc from the same DLC.
I'll make you famous.
But just because they fought on the same side before does not mean the enchanted is gonna fight fairly. Swiftly ends in the same way that all the fights do. For the next fight, if you've ever wanted to hear what a crazy bard sounds like, here it is.
Sing! Watch and learn, you globs! Watch and learn!
Despite the bard being deranged, the fight went pretty much the exact way that every other fight has gone. On to the next challenger, and this guy's a shield and spear dude, which does make me a little bit more nervous.
You all hungry? Hungry? I'm hungry.
Me too, lad. Me too. He immediately charges and just dives on the random grunt, For a second there, I thought he took the enchanted off the Caragor, but no, he just savaged a random grunt. Like I said before, I was a little bit worried that he's a shield and spear guy, but the attacks still get through. The enchanted is going to cheese every single fight. He doesn't care what they are, unless they're a spear thrower or an archer. Anyone else, he is completely obliterating. And to my surprise, he actually does a different finisher this time. He goes for what is one of the most savage finishers in the game, where he just explodes their head with, like, cursed energy.
Holy look at all this damage!
I've never seen the enchanted look so serious after a fight.
Promise me you'll struggle. It's no fun when they just keel over.
I feel like I've heard that pit fight arena line so many times. You're a basic Bork and you need to die. And this time the enchanted doesn't get the kill. A random grunt goes in for it. Oh, I really wish that he could be promoted and become a captain. I know that that can happen in Shadow of Mordor, but I'm sad it doesn't have it in Shadow of War. On to the next fight, and we're taking on the Devourer. And to my surprise, this one ends in pretty much the exact same way. Another random grunt seizing his moment and killing the Devourer from behind.
Places, everyone!
In the next fight, I come face to face with another one of my nemesis.
This is not okay.
Again, I was a little bit worried about this fight because I know that Maku the Fixer is a skilled swordsman, and he also has a legendary trait. He's very good with the throwing knives, and he does do some damage, and oh my god, look at how close it is. He jumps behind them, but he ends up getting way too close to the enchanted, and from there the enchanted just spams the same move over and over again. If Maku had been smart enough to keep dodging and throwing the throwing knives, then I think he would have won this fight. But also, F you, Maku! Get cheesed!
What a strong specimen! I wonder what your insides look like.
I don't know what's going on, but clearly the enchanted is a very inspiring leader, because another grunt goes in and gets the finisher. Now up to a win streak of 8, we finally meet a worthy opponent.
If you're eager to die, I'll oblige. Don't make me wait! Come get some!
And just look at how cool he is, the Wasp. Oh my god, he's also got decoys. Oh my word, I need this orc. This is actually one of the only times that the enchanted has gone up against archer orcs. We know that he's definitely vulnerable to spear throwers, and what happens here is that he basically gets surrounded in a sort of triangle formation, and they just keep peppering him with arrows. They keep him at bay. He's not able to get close to any of them. Whenever he tries to run closer to them, he just keeps getting shot, slowly losing health. Having decoys and archers are definitely a great counter to him. He even just gets near to that one and he gets swatted away. He's not using his ultimate cheese ability. He's kind of just in the middle of them, just being shot. He's doing nothing. What are you doing, man? Eventually, through sheer willpower, he's able to close the gap, and he starts getting some hits on the original, weakening him down, breaking him pretty quickly. But then it's a race against the clock because his own health is very, very low. The orc is broken, but as he charges in to go and hit the final attack, he succumbs to the curse, and the enchanted is defeated. I'll be honest, he died to a worthy opponent. I then make the maniac the overlord again and restore the balance to my Liflad fortress. So that was the story of the broken orc the enchanted. If you liked the video, guys, please do leave a comment. And also, please do check out my new RimWorld video. It's a new series that I'm doing. If you like my storytelling at all, then I think you'll enjoy this video. Cheers, guys.